Welcome to the sealed only Digimon Challenge. Join me on my adventure as we battle through every enemy that comes our way, selecting of all 6 colours of decks on a budget of £20 per week. Can you do it? Can you be the next Digi-destined tamer? Welcome back to episode 3, Tamers. Thank you for joining me again for another adventure with me in this Digimon deck building world. I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for supporting me so far. Episode 1 has been a knockout hit for the channel, with all the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. Thank you for being here, thank you for joining us. This message is coming in episode 3 rather than episode 2, because at the time of recording episode 2, episode 1 hadn't taken its leap, I suppose, and it wasn't until I think after I did all the voice editing and most of the actual video editing that the episode itself took off. So that's why last week's episode wasn't with the big praise, because it was already recorded. But thank you so much. This is probably going to be recorded the day of or after episodes come out, normally depending on what days I have off, as my work schedule is normally 4 on 4 off, so my weekends don't stay the same, they do rotate around, so it always depends on what it is. But I will always try to get you guys content ready and waiting for your Sunday afternoon pleasure, as Sundays on YouTube can be quite boring. So yeah, if you'll spend the half an hour with me every Sunday or so, depending on how much we're opening, we'll have to open that day, we can get on with it. But I hope you like last week's episode. It already just seemed to be having a few views already. No complaints, just happy that you guys are entertained and enjoying the series so far. I think this is the last episode that we have the weird camera angle where the cards are all shiny. I could be wrong, but I think episode 4 is where we actually start getting the less shiny angle of cards. I think we actually start getting the overview, because I didn't think about it beforehand, because I was just trying to make sure everything was in scene. But yeah, I think as of next week we do start getting the better camera angles. But this has been a long opening. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are here to have some fun. And I hate to say this because it's every YouTube's worst nightmare. Like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out greatly. And the more people that see this, the more they can enjoy it. And hopefully the more the series can grow. And if the more the series grows, the better we can make the series. As you can tell from my editing, if you ever look at my my Twitter, 16 hours edited the last video. But there was like 5 hours of footage that I had to go through. So yeah, it was a bit of a long editing process last time. I think the episode before that, episode 1, I think it was about 12 hours of editing, but that had about 4 hours of editing footage to do. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not a very good editor, but again, this is going to be a very long opening. So thank you for being here. See you guys soon. Enjoy the opening, enjoy the pack openings, and let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to episode 3. So, same again, £20 spent on packs. Technically now we have 50p left over. One day it will roll over, we can do something with it. But for now, we are doing our 5 packs. So, last time we did pull 3... Oh, we pulled 2 Alternates and we pulled 1 Super. We are likely to pull 1 Super in this opening, but because of that, probably not. But, let's see what we can do. Reapermon, Violmon, you guys see this? Tyrannomon, Nuclear Laser, Andromon, Impmon, nice, Blast Fire, River of Power, Tapiamon, Devimon, very nice, Curry, okay, that's the yellow card we can use, and then Rushtamamon. So we've pulled 2 of these now, so we're getting kind of the same sort of feel like we did last time for Lilithmon. So yeah, green's starting to get a bit better, so maybe we can start playing it soon. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing if green can go well. But let's get on with the next pack then. To be honest, for green we could just do with like maybe a couple of Tenemon packs during these openings. That's going to be the issue we have here, I think. We just need to get some of the good rares for... Oh, we have got a baby though, so maybe a chance, or maybe it could be the red or yellow, maybe. Wizardmon, Gardramon, Digitamamon, Kokotorimon, Dimensional Scissor, Vegemon, Gyomon, oh, red, possibly. Chirinmon, we are lacking ultimates in our yellow deck, so there's a chance we could use this. Freemon, oh, that's good for green. Kasurimon, very nice. Another Kari, and Yokomon, there we go, that's the red I've been looking for our red deck. So there we go, we now have 5 Digitama or Digi-Eggs for our lovely red deck. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content. I know it's not super duper mega duels, but me and the wife are doing what we can, and I'm getting help from our oldest son. So hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun. Oblivion Bird, Frizariamon, Fridgemon, Pixiemon, Metal Greymon, Golden Ripper, Leomon, Break Drummon, Monmon. Oh, it's a blocker. Something we could possibly think about using. Back for Revenge. Another Flout. Yep, we're doing really well for this. And the good TK. Yes, indeed. Alright then, so that's something we can definitely look at putting into our yellow deck. And that's definitely something we can also add to our green deck. That's getting better and better every day. Again, the only thing I can really say for our green deck that we are missing is just the Digitama, as even if we only have one, as he says he can't even open these packs, even if we just had the one Digi-Egg, it'd make our games a little bit better. Obviously, the more inherited effects we can get on the board, the better. Chewmon, Ogremon, Elecmon, Hearts Attack, Toy Agumon, Kudamon, Heat Viper, Hyandramon, Megadramon, Greymon, Infernamon, very good for black decks, and a Cerberusmon. When attacking twice per turn, you can unsuspend this Digimon by trashing 3 cards in your hand. Maybe. You do seem to get a lot of draw power in blue, so, I mean, could have a place, but not too sure about that one, but definitely a good pack, and obviously it's cards we haven't seen yet for the sealed only challenge, so I am not going to say anything against that. And then last pack for this week, guys. Again, we are getting to the point now where we could probably look at starting playing like green, purple maybe, and black, but we do need some more babies, I think. But I will struggle to open these packs every week. Let's get on with it. Ooh, damage that card. Ceramon, Boring Storm, Gorillamon, Purple Garurumon, Pumpkinmon, Lollymon, Numamon, Tensormon, Metal Greymon, Radiant Blade, Raremon, it's got to be a rare, and we have it. We have a second Omnimon. Alright then. So, I feel like the other side of our packet, our box is going to be really awkward, but we have an Omnimon. Alright then, so that's 2 of our 7. So how was that? So we pulled 2 Alt-Arts, we pulled 3 Super, so there's just 4 possibly left in the box. So doing really well, but Omnimon here. Shall we put them in the blue so we have Omnimon versus Omnimon, or should we put them in the red so we have Omnimon versus no Omnimon? You'll see. But yeah, I thought it was a really good opening, guys. I mean, Omnimon's always good. Obviously, you want 4 per deck if you can. As I made the joke saying we'll only play 8 Omnimons if you pull them. But yeah, we did really well, guys. I'm really happy with this. Again, I'm going to try and see if we can possibly start playing green soon. I do like green, but we are going to be stuck for green for a little bit. So we'll catch you after making the new decks. See you in a minute. This is what we've done today for the new red deck. We've added the Yokomon in, as we now have 5 babies. There is the baby form of Dracomon, but I don't think it's going to be in this deck in all fairness. I don't think it's going to be very effective, but I do think this will be useful when trying to punch over some of our blockers in the future. So that's why it's there. We've removed the structure deck at Greymon, and we've added the 1.0 Greymon in, so now we have 3 of both of these in the deck. Mostly a consistency thing, it's just I do quite like the idea of having more DP when needed. We've removed the last Phoenixmon to put in another Omnimon, so we are running 1 less Mega, but we do have now 2 Omnimons in the deck, which I think is much better power consistency. And then we've just removed another Dracomon, so now we're at 2 Dracomons in the deck, and added a Guilmon. Again, this is just more to add to the more consistency of our Gallopmon players. Next we'll have a look at the blue deck. So for our blue deck, all I've done in this time is just take out a Goemon, and I've added in a Monmon. It's a blocker, it's just a little bit more protection just in case we need it. Personally, I think we're okay as we were, but I'm going to try it out with this. Having 5 blockers in the deck isn't too bad. I know it's a 1 cost to put into the breeding area, but it is a 4, which is 1 less than what our current blockers are champion-wise. They are obviously 6,000 compared to this 1,000, but I think sometimes you can cheat things out a little bit more with the 4 rather than the 5. So that's what we've done with our blue deck, and then we're going to go for our yellow deck. So for our yellow deck, we are going to take out one of the Summons and put in a Kudamon. It's not a particularly great one, but obviously if we have 4 or less cards in our hand, we do recur a draw, which is quite good in yellow, because yellow doesn't really have a lot of draw power currently. Gatomon for our champion, it was 5,000, but we're going to use this because if we do attack a Digimon on the security stack, it doesn't affect our Digimon, so we don't lose it. So this is obviously a very good Digimon for attacking the stack. And then the 3 TKs we're going to remove for our 3 new Tamers. Personally speaking, this is obviously the best TK of all of them. These are obviously very good if you get these on the stack and you can put them into your bench for free, but they're not as that effective, whereas this will have memory recursion, as well as the effect of looking at our stack and adjusting it with the top of our deck. And then we just have the Karis, because as yellow isn't very strong right now, you do normally go down to 3. If that's the case, you gain 1 memory per card, so that means on the start of turn, if we have all these, we have 5 per turn. And that's where I want to be currently with yellow, just trying to keep as much memory, just trying to keep as much on our side of the field at all times. Obviously these will carry on forever, so if we get like, say 4 memory from our opponent, and then we get the extra 2 here, so we'll have 6. So these are always really good, and obviously TKs to stay as a backup in case our opponent doesn't want to give us much memory to start the turn off with. But that's it for our new deck profiles.
Match 1, red versus yellow. So I'll start by playing a Koromon, evolving into a Beermon, evolving that into a Greymon, and then playing down a Beermon to the field. My opponent then draws, summons a Tokamon, evolves it into a Tapiamon, draws again, and then plays a Unimon on top of that. My opponent then plays a TK, gives me 4 memory to start my turn off. I summon a Metal Trinomon on top of my Greymon, then evolving the Metal Trinomon into a War Greymon. My opponent then evolves her Unimon into a Magna Angemon, and then casting a Tapiamon to the field. I then summon a Greymon, and put my War Greymon into attack position. Taking the stack, twice, 3 times. It does have the additional effect from its inherited abilities. I then play a Greymon to the field. My opponent's turn summons a Tokamon, then evolves into a Patamon, and then evolves it into a Angemon. After this, my opponent attacks with her Magna Angemon into my security stack. Look to see if it has any inherited effects that it could use, which I believe it does not. It gets hit by a War Greymon and is sent to the discard pile. Then evolving up the Tapemon into a Unimon, and then playing a Patamon to the field. And then unsuspend, play another Koromon from the breeding area, and then attack with Greymon, Greymon, and War Greymon. War Greymon is blocked by the Unimon. Let's attack with Greymon. Heaven's Charm goes to my opponent's hand, and then Seraphimon destroys my other Greymon. I will then play a Gaia Force to remove the last Digimon my opponent has in their field. My opponent then moves their breeding area into the field. I plays a Leomon from hand in the field, and then plays Heaven's Charm to reduce the DP of my Digimon. I then unsuspend, a draw, and then I attack for game. Match 2, yellow versus blue. So we're just going to show you here that we do shuffle our decks, we do put out the security stack. Nothing here is artificial, everything here is just look at the draw. And at the end of the day, these are only just for fun decks that we're building with the challenge. So nothing meta, really. But my opponent plays a Sunamon, and he falls that into a Bearmon. And then plays down a Gomamon, and plays down a Gabumon. I draw, I play a Tokamon, and then I hardcast a Unimon to the field. My opponent draws, moves their Bearmon onto the field, plays a Hammerspark, plays a second Hammerspark, and then goes to attack with their 2 Digimon. First one hit with a Seraphimon, and my opponent plays a Metal Garurumon. I then evolve into a Tapiamon, then evolve into an Angemon, from my draw. I then play a TK, switching out the cards I want from his effect, shuffling the security astral that we told you to, and then I play a Magnet Angemon on top of my Angemon. My opponent suspends and draws and then turns her breeding area over, and it's a Ubermon. My opponent then wants to attack with her Metal Garurumon and the Bearmon. Tippermon hits the Bearmon, and as they're both 4,000, deletes it. My wife then attacks again with the Metal Garurumon, which turns it over to be a an Angemon. I draw. I then play down a Heaven's Charm, targeting the Metal Garurumon. I then cast a Seven's Heavens to move another 10,000 from the Metal Garurumon, moving it from the field. Let us know in the comments if that's actually a correct move, if that was actually a legal play. I then block the Gabumon with the Unimon, and that is sent to the discard pile. It's my turn again. Summon a Tokamon, evolve it into a Patamon, evolve that into a Liamon, and then evolve into a Seraphimon on top of the Magnet Angemon. First turn, draws. Place down a Garurumon. Give me back some memory. Draw for the turn. Move out my breeding area onto the field. I go swing in. So I use the effect of Seraphimon onto Garurumon. Then I swing in and do damage with both my Seraphimon and my Leomon. Now that is an illegal play. That did just come out of the breeding area that turn. Either I forgot or I was just anxious, just wanted to go. Overall, I don't think that is a game-winning turn, but we'll see. I then play down a Magnet Angemon on top of the Leomon, and then I play a Unimon on the field. My opponent draws, plays down a Grizzlymon, and then gives the turn back to me. I increase my memory because of TK, summon out a Tokamon, evolve that into a Salamon, and then evolve Salamon into a Gatomon. I will then unsuspend myself. I will use Seraphimon's effect on Grizzlymon. I will then attack. Grizzlymon is then blocks the Seraphimon, and then Azunimon comes out and it destroys my Magnet Angemon. I then hard summon out another Unimon, as I now have 3 on the field, just to make sure that I have a row of blockers, as I am very close to losing the game. My wife then summons a Garurumon, returning my mana back again, move it back up to 3, move that into the play area. I will then suspend 3 of my Digimon to attack the stack and then attack the last point for game. Our third of our match for the day, guys, it's blue versus red. Summons out a Konomon, and then hard summons a Greymon, passing the turn over to blue. Blue then summons a Sunamon, evolving into a Gabumon, evolving into a Garurumon. Turns then passed over due to the memory gauge flipping over. My opponent then summons a Growlmon onto the field. A Hammer Spark is used, and then the breeding area is pushed out. A Garurumon is then played on top of the Garurumon, and then a Mat is summoned to the field. Costing number 2, a Sorrow Blue is played to stop the Growlmon from activating during the next turn. Nagumon is played on top of the Koromon, and then a Greymon is played on top of the Agumon, and then a Sorrow is played down. Draw for the blue turn, gaining 1 additional memory due to Mat's effect, which is if your opponent has Digimon without a Digivolution source, gain a memory. I then summon a Summon, a Bearmon, and then a Dolphinmon. I then swing into attack. And then a Metal Tramon destroys the Garurumon. Garurumon is then played on top of the breeding area stack. My opponent then makes an illegal move here by attacking with the Greymon. But a Metal Greymon saves my day and puts it back into the discard pile. Opponent then plays down a Metal Greymon. I draw, I then move my breeding area out, and then play a free cost Gabmon using its on-play effect, which draws me a card. I then evolve it up into a Gorillamon, and then evolve it into a Zoodamon. And then I play a Hammer Spark to gain an extra memory. I then play Joe, and hand it over to my opponent. My opponent then draws a Kuramon from the egg deck, plays a Dracomon on top. The Metal Greymon is then played down on top of the Greymon. I draw for the turn. I play a Hammer Spark, I gain an additional memory point. Play a Upamon, then put a Bearmon on top, and then play another Sorrow Blue to suspend my opponent's Digimon. I then striking with both of my active Digimon. Luckily getting through. And then play a Gomon. My opponent's Digimon unsuspends, moving the breeding area out onto the field. My opponent then evolves their Metal Greymon into a War Greymon. Breeding area has been moved out and then evolved into an Ikakumon. Unsuspend all the Digimon left in play. And then my thoughts of the episode are, we need to stop having all these illegal maneuvers. So me and my wife obviously still new to the game. We've only played these 9 games as of now. So we are still doing, incorrect moves. We're still essentially swapping turns around, like, we'll unsuspend and then we'll play a card and then we'll do the breeding and then we'll go back to the main phase. Obviously, if we're doing that in a real game, you can't go back and redo things. You obviously have to do it in set orders, and that's how the game works, just because of how timings work normally. I think in a friendly game, that's not really going to matter too much, because obviously you're not going to upset a friend if they obviously know you're obviously doing that because it doesn't really affect anything else, and then you're going to breed because it's going to obviously do your turn, and then you're going to go into your main phase from there. But obviously in a real game, you can't do that. So that's fun. The decks themselves are actually going really well. That's how I feel. As of next week, we actually get to have our first look at the green deck, and from there on we get to play the green deck in every episode as of now if we want to. I think for next episode though, we're going to play the green deck 3 times just so we can see how the green deck works against red, blue and yellow. But for now, that's where we kind of are for this week. As I've been saying, yellow is kind of in a stalemate, at least for now, as it doesn't really get more powerful until at least 1.5, and then when it gets to 4 is when it actually starts getting that power spike where it's actually going to look like an effective deck. The issue we've got is we don't know when we're going to get 1.5 right now, as 1.5 has apparently been pushed back again. But that's not a massive issue as such, but it does mean that it could be a chance that episode 6 might be late, and I don't know how late, and that's the other issue. I'm hoping it's not going to be too late. I'm hoping we do get it on the 12th. As I still said, we haven't brought any 1.5 yet, so it's looking like we could be in a little bit of trouble there. The place that I normally buy my stuff from has said that he's not willing to risk the chance of selling me a product that doesn't exist, so he's going to wait until he gets his stock in, and then he's going to go from there, and then we can look to buy for the channel. But we're a bit stuck. We did just buy our Great Legend stuff from him, so when that comes out, we know we've got it. I'm looking forward to that. The issue we kind of have though is when Great Legend comes out, apparently it's the same time we get the theme decks as well. And originally you got the decks, I think like 2 or 3 weeks before, and then you got the set afterwards, which I think might have been Great Legends. It could have been set 3 actually. With that being said, I don't know how you guys want to do the whole, like, how we account for these things. I'd like to be able to play the decks, as I like to get the purple deck, the black deck and green deck in. That way every single deck has a chance of having the base of a deck, and then go from there. So would you guys be okay with us doing an episode where it's like, hey look, we've spent another £60 and now we have 3 decks that we can throw into this? Well, technically it wouldn't be £60, it's like £52. But yeah, it's like, would you guys be okay with me spending £52 on one episode and saying like, hey look, technically this is the exemption episode because we spent that much money on the other 3 colours, so this time we've got this. And then when the All Force Veedramon deck comes out and the Gallantmon deck comes out, are we okay with buying those 2 decks and going, hey look, let's put these in the mix? Until we see what actually comes out, which should be soon. I do think we're going to see what comes out from those in the next couple of weeks, I think. I think we get, what is it, May I think is when Double Diamond comes out. I think we get the new decks before May. I believe it's May. So hopefully we'll find out what we're going to get from those very soon. And if that's the case, we can go through and actually go look. Actually, there's nothing in these decks that we really need to make our decks any better. Unless, obviously, the cover cards are actually really good. And that's going to be that there. But this is kind of my thoughts for now. There's not really much that we can do in terms of like what we want to aim towards right now. We just want to build these decks. Once you start getting more cards, or we have a backlog of cards to go through, then we can start looking at how we want to play these decks. Currently, red's just this aggressive security attacking deck. We do have the option of having Gallantmon. So if we are playing against something like a purple deck, we do get the chance of just striking at their security just for the sake of them having lots of trash. Blue is currently this weird like memory manipulation game where all we're doing is just trying to get as much memory as you can while trying to stop our opponent from having any Digivolution sources, which is why Blue Omni is so good right now, because that's what they've been doing. Yellow is again, like, because as I always say, it's like a battle control deck currently, which isn't very good for how you want to play the current format of Digimon. I don't think it ever will get good in that sense. Seven Heavens is really good, and Seraphimon is quite good, just because of what utility they bring to the battlefield. But it's not something you want to probably see in the future, especially with how the game goes as of like the next set and then the set 4, just because you want to be able to like mess around with your own security stack while stopping your opponent from touching your security stack. Green goes big and mean, and that's just the thing. And obviously with our first restriction bans, green gets really aggressive, which is why the only colours to get bans currently are green. Hidden Potential Discovered is just a really powerful card, and I think a lot of people slept on that card for whatever reason. And then once it got banned, all you heard was like, it needed to get banned because it was like, you didn't know about this card, you didn't care about green until now because you're too busy playing Omnimon. But it obviously just shows you how powerful a card is if it's making like Omnimon based decks kind of oppressed. The ultimate rank of Argomon, yeah, that was just way too powerful, and I understand why it got restricted to 1. It's going to be a shame really that we have these restrictions on these cards, as they didn't really do anything to deserve them in terms of the fullest thought about it. But green's still a really good deck, and I still look forward to playing green. I did make the argument that it wasn't really fair that we're basically getting a set that gets instantly restricted, whereas Japan had like 9 months of that deck. I know a lot of people sort of are on the side of like, I'd prefer not to play against that deck for like X amount of time. And I've said what you should do really is we should be able to play that for a format, and in terms of a format, I mean like a season of Digimon. So we get to play green at its fullest from 1.5 to 4, and then from 4 onwards, that's when we look at the restriction list. The fact that they have to restrict it so soon makes it seem a bit unfair, especially when a lot of people in Japan and Asia were getting away with wins with these green decks being so powerful. But I don't know if that's just me, because I'm just a fan of green. I'm just wanting to have this destructive force, but we probably won't get to ever see that. And then purple's just this weird like trash recursion, memory gauge, option card, toolbox kit thing, which I have no idea how it works, but apparently it's really good. And then black is currently just blockers, and then it gets even more blockery in the next set. I do think black is kind of shoehorning this weird like blocking reboot set until we do get towards set 5, just because set 5 has when we get the Omnimons, and we get the other Diaboromons, and we've obviously got the Promo Diaboromons, and we've got all this, that, and the other, and these are just making black look really good for like a token-based deck. Not everyone likes token-based decks, but I think Diaboromon token-based deck, it's full of lore of what Digimon is, makes sense. But that's something we need to look forward to then. Also, if we enter any tournaments, are we allowed to use the prize support that we technically paid for as stuff for the cards? I'd like to be able to do that. I will record the matches and maybe put it up as like a side thing as opposed to having it as an episode, because we only get to play the one deck, which is obviously something we don't really do on this channel. We play multiple different colours of decks. So that's something you guys are interested in, or something you guys are actually like looking forward to seeing me play in tournaments, then I'm happy to record, and then maybe we'll have like a secondary episode once a week, like once every now and again, every couple of weeks, once a month, where you just go, here's literally an hour of me playing whatever deck I choose to take that week. But until then, that's really it. That's my thoughts for now. It was quite a long rambly thoughts compared to what I normally do. Same thing every YouTuber probably hates doing right now is, if you've enjoyed it and you've got this far, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're not. The content we're going to produce here is hopefully going to get better as the weeks go on. I can't guarantee this, but I always put the effort in. I put like another 10 hours of editing into this. This episode wasn't even that long compared to the last episode in terms of editing. I'm always trying to improve what I can do, but I'm only going to be here as long as you guys want to see this stuff. And that's, I suppose, that kind of shame, because I actually really enjoy this. But if you guys like it, support me as much as you can. It's free. Like, I'm never going to ask you for like Patreon. I'm never going to ask you for like a YouTube support. It might be a case of if the podcast ever picks up on Twitch, I might ask you guys like to throw your Prime sub in there, but that's probably about it, as I always think this content should be free. But as long as you guys like, comment, subscribe, then the content can always stay free. But until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace out, enjoy, goodbye.